Hey there, I'm Mr. Brand, and these are my 3 kids, and this is our 2014 Chevy Traverse. Let's see if it will fit the fam. Okay, dashboard confessional time. I really like Chevrolet. Now, I've always been a bow tie fan, and I'm really hoping that this Traverse is amazing. I mean, how could it not be? It's got 3 rows of seats, it's on the larger side of mid-sized, and yes, so far the seats are kind of uncomfortable because of this goofy headrest, but other than that, I mean, how bad could it be? Let's see if it'll fit the fam. So with the infant seat in place, there's plenty of room. I feel pretty comfortable. The issues I do run into is just getting in this car in general. Everything seems big. There's a big thick door, a big center console, and I feel like almost like I'm in a cocoon, even though this is a very comfortable and dare say larger of the SUVs without being suburban or Tahoe or something like that. Now, unfortunately, on the Traverse, I'm not going to be able to get a passenger seat comparison on the infant seat because I can't get the current car seat out. The headrest doesn't want to go up and down, and really I just don't have time to consult the owner's manual to try and figure that out after the 5 or so minutes that I did spend looking at it. So for now, we'll just have to see. If it fits in the driver's side, you can kind of assume the passenger side's going to be good as well. For kids in a high-back booster, the initial issue is with the height of the door sill. There just isn't much for them to grab onto while pulling themselves up into the car without grabbing on the pinch points like the door jab or the headrest. Then we have the real issue. I let my kiddo buckle herself. I always double check to make sure it's done right. But the way the seat belt is set up on the C-pillar, she can't pull the belt and buckle it by herself. It's just too hard. We did try it 3 or 4 times just to make sure it wasn't a stiff belt, and it just wasn't happening. So in the Traverse, it fits, okay? You've got 3 car seats across one single seat. I'm not going to strap them into this car. Again, I had an issue with the top tether on this car seat that's existing in here. It's a Graco. It's not the car seat manufacturer's fault. It's the manufacturer of the car, but I'm choosing not to remove it. They fit in here, but then again, with 3 car seats across the back, you're not going to be able to get into the 3rd row without either leaving a side down or something of that nature. So probably better off putting 1 in the back or 2 in the far back. Then you run into the issue of not being able to reach, and that's up to you. That's honestly a 3-row car seat consideration when you're looking at 3 car seats. So as you can see with my son in the back seat, his feet tend to be pretty close. You might have some seat back issues, wear at the top. The other issue you run into with the Traverse is the fact that it has these rear AC controls that are in the back, and you can't control them from the front. You can turn on and off the rear AC, and that's it. In fact, the owner of this car told me that the first summer they owned this car, they found that they would get to their destination with their kids hot and sweaty and not able to figure out why, and yet they got there nice and cool. Well, it was because whenever she put her purse down in the back, she would turn up the heat. So all of a sudden, she's got sweaty kids and she's nice and cool. So she had to figure that one out. Now, as for the roll under, some smaller items can definitely go under there. It's not real deep. Larger items do get stuck. It's also nice because it's flat under here, so smaller items can easily come out. Unfortunately, the other way, it's a big open gap and things can go all the way to the back. As for the floor mats, they lock into place, so you don't have to worry about them coming up or moving forward, but what you do get is these tracks. These seats can move forward and backward in order to get into the back, and when they do, they expose these tracks and they end up filling up with pens and toys and things like that, which then just makes the seat impossible to move. So not a huge fan of this design. The Traverse does have a third row. In order to get into that, you just go to the second row. You grab a lever, it's up towards the top of the seat, and you pull. And then the seat actually folds forward. It's a pretty clever mechanism, but with this car at about 50,000 miles, it's getting a little sticky. And so some of your higher mileages, or if you don't use it a lot, that functionality may be hampered a bit. So with the rear seats up, it's obviously a pretty small space. Surprisingly not as small as the Tahoe, which is should be the larger of the vehicles, but you do still have access to the extra space in the back, so you can put your spare clothes or, diapers, things like that. The stroller does fit with the third row up, but it doesn't leave room for much else. And when you get to your destination, watch out, because it's pretty likely to have moved and it might fall out on you. Of course, that's the optimal way you're going to be storing your items, because with 3-row across, you're not going to be able to get to this third row anyways. But of course, there's plenty of room. It's a mid-size SUV. It's tons of room back here with that third row down. And of course, you do have to climb in to get to the tethers, but I would say that undoubtedly great space back here. All right, as for the infotainment system, it's pretty standard on this car. Has a couple fun features, but comes back to where zoom. You got AM, FM, XM, disc. You do have to go next if you want to check out USB or front aux or anything like that. Front aux is up here. It does have a disc for those of you that are ancient. Here's the interesting part. These buttons down here, they do not do anything on the screen. Don't adjust here. They adjust up here, so it makes it kind of odd when you're going to go through these buttons. So then also it has, of course, a reverse camera. It does turn. As a parent, I would find the functionality of this kind of laggy. So part of the driver features on this car is a split console. That means that there's an upper and a lower console area. The armrest moves forward and backwards for comfort. And then it also houses space for you to put all your stuff. Now that's nice and all, but then if you want more stuff, well then you've got your lower console. You slide it out of the way. It's got a tray in the top. It goes pretty deep. It also has this nice little power supply back down there. The issue is that it slides backwards, so you have to make sure that your kid in the middle does not have their knees too far forward, or else you can't slide it back. But come on now, you're really gonna move your AC controls back into the kid in the middle? One of the other nice features about the LT is remote start without having to go to aftermarket. That only took me 3 tries. In the end, I think it's worth what you might pay for it. I can't really speak to the mechanicals, but this one with a smidge over 50,000 miles had a slight thunk to the transmission under power. It's a forgettable 3-row crossover SUV that, unless you really like Chevy or need a good deal, I personally would only look at if I needed the extra space. Hey, thanks for watching our review today. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you know when the next videos are being posted. Also, comment below. Let me know what kind of cars you want me to check out and see what can fit your family.